They called it lysergy, a tonic that was circulating underground. Imbibing lysergy led to a state of rapture, but impaired one's reason. Whoever drank it would soon turn into a monster and spread grief. An edict had circulated calling for the eradication of lysergy. While on the trail of the deadly tonic, I met a female sorcerer named Terorria. She claimed to have information on the mysterious medicine.
Won't you come with me for a while?
We arrived at an area infested with monsters. We were quickly surrounded. Terorria licked her lips and spoke.
We will feast upon your blood.
That name, Terorria. After the battle, I remembered. Very recently, Terorria had earned a measure of fame. She was exterminating monsters at an incredible pace. But people talked about more than her prowess. She was also known for a strange habit. After the fight, she latched onto my arm and pressed her lips to a wound that I had suffered in battle. She started sucking my blood. No wonder she had become the talk of the town.
If you ever die, I'll be there to drink your blood.
Terorria made one thing clear. If I wanted to know anything about lysergy, I would have to stick with her. She said her blood was impure, and that it must be diluted. That was why she sucked the fresh blood of others. But she hated the taste of her own blood.
My blood is cursed,
She said to me. I have not been told of our destination, but it is clear that it will be a treacherous journey. I asked her about lysergy, but she only said one thing. To acquire it, you had to be of a certain ilk. I tried to ask more, but she turned her head to look back at something. Monsters had drawn near. After the battle, Terorria once again put her lips to my wounds. After she finished sucking blood, using her fingers she held one of her wounds open for me to see. She produced a vial and drained her blood into it. While her blood dripped into the vial, she spoke to me about her past. Once, there was a sorcerer. He was overcome by desires and transformed into a monster. woman had conceived the man's child. Before the child was born, her monstrous father was eliminated. No one knew if the child would be born human or monster. The mother, ostracized, went mad with resentment and rage and became a monster herself. Her wrath fueled great violence. Naturally, she too was slain by sorcerers. But from the monster's corpse was heard the wail of a baby. What survived was called Terorria. After she had opened up to me about her parents, occasionally she began to share more. Her family history had made life exceedingly difficult. The only thing to be thankful for was that she was born with a sorcerer's potential. Terorria's way was simple. She would kill more monsters than any other and become truly famous. She need only succeed, and the world would accept her. Whenever Terorria had the chance, she drained her blood into vials. After a few days' trek, Terorria stopped.
We're here. Watch carefully.
A monster appeared before us, and Terorria smiled mischievously. This monster too had been created by Lysergy. I found something amongst the fallen corpses of the monsters. A vial. The same type that Terorria uses to capture her blood.
You see now, don't you? The truth.
The answer was simple. Lysergy was blood. Terorria's flesh was cursed. This was no mere rumor. And Lysergy was her blood. Terorria sold her blood to breed monsters. By killing them herself, her prowess became known. She created monsters, then killed them. That was her only choice. The only way a girl born with monster's blood could be accepted.
I was going to make you drink Lysergy too.
This was the way she typically ensnared victims. Get close to a person, gain their trust, and sell them Lysergy. Tell them it's a nice elixir. One taste, and they were trapped. People could not resist its pleasure and became monsters.
But I've changed my mind. You won't have any liturgy.
I asked her why, and she told me to come with her to a nearby town where the answer would be clear. Just as the town came into sight, we were surrounded. Perhaps these creatures were attracted to Terorria's cursed blood. We arrived at the town. A pale man awaited us on a dimly lit street. Terorria smiled as she handed the man a vial in exchange for gold coins.
He's a regular, absolute scum.
As the man walked off, Terorria told me that he was a slave trader.
Scum like that are better dead.
That was the certain ilk that you had to be to qualify. Terorria said that it took only one lick of a man's blood to know if he was worthless or not.
Your blood was different, though. It was lovely.
She said that some people deserve to be monsters.
It makes them easier to kill.
Terorria had her own reasoning, her own ways to wickedness. Not the kind of reasoning that was acceptable, mind you. Liturgy is still out there. Which means Terorria is still fast at work. But within her world, she acted with justice. A wicked brand of it, but justice nevertheless.